After discovering her extraordinary ability to teleport, Kang Mina was preparing for her 30-second test. Starting from the rooftop of Building XX, with an absolute determination to succeed, she threw herself into the air, falling freely between the city's towering skyscrapers. After a powerful descent, she finally crashed into the deep ocean. Checking her phone, she confirmed that she had traveled 50 kilometers without a single stop, reaching Galliamai Beach in Tian County. Moments later, Kang Mina teleported back home, only to be caught by her mother in the kitchen. When her mother asked where she had been, she simply explained that she felt suffocated, so she went to the sea for a while. During dinner, her mother reminded her about her father's memorial service this coming weekend, and urged her to greet her father's former colleagues kindly. As Kang Mina gently asked her mother not to cry, her mother questioned what they had been talking about just before. Kang Mina stayed silent, quietly lost in thoughts about her father. Through various tests, Kang Mina discovered that the cooldown time after each jump is just 1 to 2 seconds. But she is limited to 24 consecutive teleports before reaching her physical limit. She then focused on 2 critical tests, the first one being the overlap test. When she attempted it, she immediately realized it was a reckless mistake, and regretted trying it at all. The result was disastrous. She collided with an unseen force and was violently recoiled back to her starting position. It felt as if her entire body had been brutally beaten, leaving her in excruciating pain from head to toe. Kang Mina continued testing the limits of her teleportation to see how much she could carry along with her. She discovered that she was capable of transporting up to 5 billion won, but she decided to return every cent immediately, convinced that such reckless greed would only lead to a disastrous fate. Although she realized that teleportation would make her daily commute to school incredibly convenient, she reminded herself that using her power for mundane travel was far too dangerous. While she was walking with her classmates, a luxury car suddenly sped toward them, nearly causing a tragic accident. From inside the vehicle, a girl with striking red hair emerged, scanning the crowd of students, her gaze lingering on Kang Mina. Witnessing this scene, Kang Mina couldn't help but wonder, is the true superpower actually being born into a wealthy family? She found herself questioning whether her own supernatural ability was truly meaningful, or if it even existed at all. Kang Mina considers that using the ability for commuting is risky due to the fear of getting noticed, and robbing a bank would lead to being caught quickly. Then, Kang Mina wonders if they should target criminal organizations, ultimately concluding that theft or free travel is the easiest thing to do. Kang Mina continues practicing in the storage area and realizes that thanks to this ability, they have learned more than they knew before, and that this world is much more beautiful. Finally, Kang Mina performs another successful teleportation and exclaims that it is such an amazing ability. As Kang Mina ponders her power, noise erupts outside. She witnesses Rua and her group cruelly bullying Chanhe's, smearing lipstick on his face while recording and mocking him. They callously label him trash, obsessing over their status at his club. After they leave, a devastated Chanhe stands alone, staring at his hands in despair, while Rua watches the footage of her cruelty on a screen, smiling smugly at the pain she inflicted. Chanhe looks at his hands and wonders what he should do. Rua continues to tease Chanhe by complimenting the makeup on his face. While spraying water directly onto Chanhe to add a dewy glow, Rua also asks the group if they should take Chanhe to the club for a debut today, and jokes about finding him a girlfriend. Feeling that Rua and her gang are trash, Kang Mina decides to use the ability to leave. Kang Mina tells herself that getting involved with that crazy girl will be troublesome. Rua confronts Kang Mina for hiding, demanding to know if she's avoiding her. Mina briefly considers teleporting away. As Mina emerges, Rua's group mocks her silence. Rua, furious at Mina's lack of manners for not greeting her, suddenly slaps her across the face. When Mina falls and glares back, Rua mocks her gaze, sarcastically claiming to be scared, while clearly enjoying the power she holds over her. Mina urges herself to endure, but Rua's group ruthlessly attacks her, mocking her deceased father, a famous police officer. When Rua brings him up, Mina finally snaps, demanding they stop. Rua just laughs, delivering a powerful blow to her face. Mina declares she won't be treated this way, but the group continues their brutal assault, casually joking that they shouldn't hit kids who wear glasses as they beat her. Rua's group humiliates Mina, throwing money at her to fix her appearance. Rua laughs at Mina's suffering, mocking her poverty and lack of a father. Cruelly, they detail her father's death, mocking that he wasn't a heroic officer fighting gangs, but was merely stabbed while breaking up a bar fight. They howl with laughter at the irony, shattering Mina's memory of him. Unable to bear the insults directed at her father any longer, Kang Mina finally reached her breaking point and decided to use her power. In an instant, she teleported herself and Rua far away from the storage area. They plummeted from the sky into the vast ocean, leaving Rua in absolute shock and terror. Immediately after, Kang Mina reappeared back in the storage room, leaving Rua's friends completely stunned, staring into empty space, unable to comprehend what had just happened. Plunged into the ocean, Rua panics, gasping for air in total terror. Nearby, Mina is reeling from her own actions, paralyzed by a haunting question. Has she just killed Rua? Back in the storage, chaos erupts. Rua's friends stare in disbelief at the empty space where she stood just seconds ago. They frantically search, calling out her name, completely baffled by her impossible disappearance. Suddenly, Mina realizes Chanhee has seen everything. One of Rua's cronies approaches, aggressively demanding to know where she went. When met with silence, he loses his temper, lunging at Chanhee. Another student, Junwoo, intervenes, warning that such madness on campus will put them on the evening news. Ignoring the risk, the boy continues to scream and abuse Chanhee, convinced he's being deliberately ignored. Witnessing Chanhee being brutally beaten by Junwoo and Gihan's group, Kang Mina tries to endure it because she wants to keep the peace at school. She watches Chanhee being tormented and struggles with whether she should discard everyone, just like she did with Rua. Just as Gihan is about to land a kick on Chanhee, a teacher appears and shouts for them to stop, calling out Wang Junwoo and Kang Gihan by name to reprimand them for fighting on school grounds. The homeroom teacher's sudden arrival forces Junwoo and Gihan to mask their aggression, lying that they were only helping a fallen Chanhee. Mina silently hopes to escape, but the teacher remains suspicious. Suddenly, Gihan shifts the power dynamic, confronting Mr. Jung. He bluntly demands the 50 million won he is still owed, sarcastically mocking the teacher's stupidity for daring to face his creditor. When Mr. Jung reveals the chairwoman is searching for her missing granddaughter, Rua Gihan's group forces the teacher to join the hunt. Gihan mocks him for causing a scene, insults his intelligence, and calls him a fool at 40. As they bully the teacher, Mina watches silently, feeling a surge of relief, convinced that Rua's disappearance might finally be her chance to escape. After the teacher leaves, Gihan corners Chanhee, forcing him to take the blame for Rua's disappearance. He threatens Chanhee with dire consequences if he reveals the truth. Hidden and watching, Mina realizes the situation has spiraled out of control. Chanhee is ordered to report back directly to Gihan, leaving him isolated and terrified under their relentless pressure. The scene suddenly shifts to a completely unfamiliar location in the Philippines. Here, a mysterious man with a scar on his face appears, having already taken down those surrounding him. When the victim pleads for help, this total stranger coldly replies that he has already been paid to end their life. After his brutal act, he pulls out his phone to call his daughter. Despite his clothes and hands still stained with blood, he forces a calm voice to wish her a happy birthday. He justifies his violence, claiming he had no choice but to finish his work, completely unaware that his daughter has already mysteriously vanished.